Ladies and gentlemen, stop whatever you're doing, because Hollywood just coughed up a scandal so juicy it makes the Kardashians look like they're filming reruns of Sesame Street. I'm talking about Chrisean Rock. Yes, the chaos queen herself, finally spilling the tea that she hooked up with Offset. And before you clutch your pearls, no, this isn't some fanfiction cooked up in the comments section. This is Chrisean, with her own mouth, admitting it, and the internet is exploding like Twitter on Beyoncé's birthday. Now here's the kicker. She didn't just say it happened. Oh no, she hinted it might have been her revenge play against Cardi B? That's right. The rap game's royal couple just got hit with a plot twist so wild, even Netflix would reject it for being too unrealistic. Offset, Cardi, and Chrisean in the same messy storyline? That's not drama. That's nuclear warfare with receipts, TikToks, and memes waiting to detonate. So what really went down? Was this a hookup, a headline grab, or a masterclass in petty revenge? Stick around, because this scandal has more layers than a Drake diss track, and I'm about to peel them back one by one. When the rumor first broke, fans didn't believe it. Offset and Chrisean Rock? Nah, that's too messy, even for 2025. But then, Chrisean opened her mouth and confirmed it in her classic, unapologetic way. And suddenly, the internet went from confused laughter to full-scale meltdown. You could practically hear the sound of a million keyboards smashing at once. Now let's rewind. Offset, the Migos superstar and one half of hip-hop's most headline-grabbing couple, has been at the center of scandals before. Cheating rumors? Been there. Secret DMs? Done that. But sleeping with Chrisean Rock, who, let's be honest, has made chaos her brand, is like trading in turbulence for a Category 5 hurricane. It's the kind of plot twist that makes you wonder, is Offset addicted to drama? Or is drama addicted to him? And then comes Chrisean. For years, she's been serving up fights, tears, and viral sound bites that make producers of Love and Hip Hop look like they're filming a cooking show. This woman doesn't just cause chaos, she monetizes it. And when she admitted the Offset hookup, she didn't just whisper it like a guilty secret. She threw it out there like confetti at a toxic wedding reception. The way she told it was almost casual too, as if she were saying, "Yeah, I had brunch today. Oh, and by the way, I slept with Cardi B's husband." No shame, no hesitation, no filter. And that, my friends, is the difference between a rumor and a weapon. Because once she framed it as potential revenge, this wasn't just gossip, it was warfare. Cardi B fans instantly took it as a declaration of battle, and Offset fans? Well, do Offset fans even exist? Or are they just people waiting for his next apology post? Social media lit up in seconds. TikTok had edits with dramatic zoom-ins on Cardi's face, as if she'd just been stabbed in the back by her favorite wig stylist. Twitter was divided between laughing at the absurdity and crying over the possibility that hip-hop's messiest triangle just became a square. One fan tweeted, "Offset couldn't even stay faithful during quarantine. What makes you think he'd pass up Chrisean?" Another shot back with, "Cardi's about to write a diss track so violent it'll qualify as a felony." But here's the real question. Was Chrisean telling the truth? Or was this her way of getting attention by dragging two of the biggest names in rap into her orbit? Because if there's one thing Chrisean knows how to do, it's turn pain into press. And if this was some elaborate revenge fantasy, she just pulled it off better than half of Hollywood's screenwriters. Let's break down the timeline. Offset and Cardi have had an on-again, off-again relationship messier than a Bravo reunion special. Cheating rumors have haunted them since practically their wedding day, with Cardi publicly dragging him one minute and then taking him back the next. The internet has been clowning Offset for years, calling him the professional sorry man. So when Chrisean slid into the picture with her wild claim, it wasn't exactly out of the blue. It was almost believable by default. Now, think about the optics. Chrisean doesn't just reveal a hookup, she frames it as revenge. Revenge for what, though? That's where it gets slippery. Was she jealous of Cardi's success? Did Cardi say something slick behind the scenes? Or was this just Chrisean pulling the ultimate, "I can have what you have" move? Because let's be real, if you want to rattle a woman like Cardi, messing with her man is the fastest, dirtiest way to do it. And here's where it gets even nastier. Chrisean didn't deny enjoying the chaos. In fact, she seemed to relish the thought of Cardi squirming. Her vibe was almost, "Yeah, I did it, and what are you gonna do about it?" Which is peak Chrisean energy. She thrives in the fire and fuels it at the same time. But Offset? Where was he in all this? Silent, dead silent. And if you know Offset's history, silence doesn't mean innocence. Silence means damage control, PR strategy, and possibly his phone getting thrown at him by Cardi herself. You can bet his team was scrambling harder than a chef at Waffle House after church service, trying to figure out how to spin this without looking guilty. Meanwhile, Cardi wasn't silent. Oh no, she started posting cryptic messages. The kind of Instagram stories that scream, "I know something, y'all." Don't. Stuff like, "You can't break," "What's already unshakable," and "They always want what you got," which is basically Cardi's way of saying, "I see you, sis, and you're not touching this crown." Fans immediately connected the dots, turning her posts into meme after meme. Someone even edited a clip of Cardi throwing her shoe at Nicki Minaj at the Met Gala with the caption, "Cardi on her way to see Chrisean." This wasn't just a scandal, it was a content factory. Every gossip blog, every Twitter page, every YouTube channel with a mic and a Wi-Fi connection was milking this drama like it was the last cow on earth. And why wouldn't they? You've got love, betrayal, revenge, and two women who will absolutely not hesitate to fight each other in public. That's not a story, that's ratings gold. The most hilarious part? Fans were treating Offset like a side character in his own scandal. He wasn't the main focus. He was just the messy prop connecting Cardi and Chrisean. People weren't asking, "What did Offset do?" They were asking, "What's Cardi gonna do about Chrisean?" Which is savage but accurate. Offset has built such a reputation for fumbling that nobody even blinked at the idea he'd cheat. It was just, yep, sounds like him. Anyway, back to Cardi versus Chrisean. Now, whether or not this hookup was real almost didn't matter. The narrative was already written. Chrisean cast herself as the villain/hero, Offset was the predictable cheater, and Cardi was the betrayed queen ready to clap back. And in the world of celebrity gossip, perception is reality. If people believe it, it might as well be true. And so, as the dust settled from the first wave of chaos, one thing became crystal clear. This wasn't going to blow over in a day. This was the kind of scandal that grows legs, spawns remixes, and keeps trending long after the original confession. And if you thought the initial admission was shocking, just wait, because the reactions that followed made the story 10 times bigger, 10 times messier, and 100 times funnier. The internet didn't just react, like it detonated. And like clockwork, the first wave of celebrity responses started rolling in. Because you know how it goes. When a scandal this messy drops, Hollywood can't resist jumping into the mud pit. First up, the peanut gallery of rappers who live for clout. Lil Uzi Vert posted a cryptic tweet with nothing but laughing emojis and a popcorn gif, which, translated from celebrity speak, basically means, "I'm not touching this, but I'm definitely watching." Meanwhile, Saucy Santana went live on Instagram sipping wine, literally cackling and saying, "This is better than cable." He wasn't wrong. But then the heavyweights stepped in. Nicki Minaj's fanbase, the Barbs, smelled blood in the water and immediately turned this into a Cardi versus Chrisean war. They didn't care whether Offset actually did it or not. They just wanted Cardi dragged, and Chrisean was their new chaotic queen. Memes flooded Twitter with captions like, "Chrisean Rock is Nicki's new bestie," and Offset said "super freaky girl" and meant it. Savage doesn't even begin to cover it. And then, as if the drama wasn't already at max capacity, Blueface chimed in. You know, he wasn't about to stay quiet when his ex was trending. He tweeted, "Told y'all she for everybody," and instantly got roasted into oblivion. Fans fired back with, "Sir, weren't you just crying about her last week? And not you speaking on loyalty when you've cheated more times than Monopoly players pass go." Blueface tried to play the tough guy, but the internet had already decided he was the clown of the circus. The memes were relentless. One viral TikTok showed a fake scene of Cardi storming into Chrisean's house, only to be met with WWE entrance music. Another edited Offset's face onto a character from Grand Theft Auto running from cops, captioned, "Offset trying to escape Cardi's wrath." People had Cardi holding knives, Chrisean holding bottles, and Offset holding, well, nothing, because he was nowhere to be found. Even celebrities outside of hip-hop couldn't resist chiming in. Keke Palmer liked a shady tweet that said, "Offset couldn't stay faithful if it was a paid acting role." Wendy Williams, who hasn't been on air for years, trended again because people were saying, "This is the kind of mess Wendy would have eaten alive." Honestly, they weren't wrong. Honestly, they weren't wrong. But the wildest twist came when Offset's alleged side chicks started popping up like mushrooms after rain. Suddenly, every Instagram model with a blue check was claiming, "Oh, he was in my DMs too." Screenshots started flying, some real, some obviously fake, but all damaging. Offset went from being accused of one hookup to looking like he was running a whole Olympic team of side flings. Cardi's fanbase was foaming at the mouth, demanding answers, while Offset stayed silent. Still, which only made it worse. Meanwhile, Chrisean doubled down. Instead of backing off when the heat got too high, she went on IG Live, blasting Cardi for thinking she owns the whole rap game and saying, "I ain't scared of no girl who throws shoes at the Met Gala." That one line alone broke the internet. Memes of Cardi's famous shoe throw resurfaced, with captions like, "Cardi warming up before running into Chrisean's live." The sheer disrespect was astronomical, but it was also exactly what kept the story alive. Here's the genius of it all. Whether you love or hate Chrisean, you can't look away. She's like reality TV personified, messy, unfiltered, and always one sentence away from breaking the internet again. And by aiming her chaos cannon at Cardi, she picked the perfect target. Cardi is loud, reactive, and known for clapping back. It was like Chrisean threw meat into a lion's cage and sat back with popcorn. Cardi, to her credit, didn't immediately take the bait. She stayed on her cryptic post game, clearly trying to look unbothered. But fans know Cardi. Unbothered is not in her DNA. This is the same woman who once live-streamed while screaming at trolls in real time. So the clock was ticking. Everyone was waiting for the inevitable explosion, and when it came, it shook the internet. Cardi finally went live, nails clicking on her phone like a countdown to chaos, and addressed it head-on. She didn't say Chrisean's name directly, but the shade was undeniable. "I don't compete with nobody. If my man want to downgrade, that's on him. I'm the prize. Always have been, always will be." Boom. Cardi just called Chrisean a downgrade in front of millions of viewers. You could almost hear the gasp echoing across social media. Chrisean, of course, responded within hours. Because if there's one thing she hates, it's being underestimated. She fired back with, "Downgrade? Baby girl, I ain't the one crying over a man who can't keep it in his pants. That's you." And just like that, the gloves were off. Fans were split straight down the middle. Team Cardi argued that she had every right to shade Chrisean. After all, she's Cardi B, Grammy-winning superstar, with more money and influence than Chrisean could dream of. But Team Chrisean clapped back, saying Cardi was insecure and pressed, while Chrisean was just living her truth. Neutral fans, they were just here for the entertainment, tweeting things like, "This is better than Love and Hip Hop. Somebody pass me a drink." By this point, the scandal had morphed into something way bigger than a hookup. It was now about respect, power, and reputation. Cardi's brand has always been about being untouchable, the loud Bronx girl who made it to the top against all odds. But with Chrisean mocking her and Offset's history dragging her down, that image started to crack. Meanwhile, Chrisean's brand thrived on chaos. The more messy it got, the stronger her clout grew. She wasn't losing in this battle, she was winning. And here's the dangerous part. Offset knew it. He knew he wasn't the main character anymore. He was just the plot device fueling a war between two women. And in the court of public opinion, that's worse than being hated. That's being irrelevant. So when Offset finally broke his silence, it wasn't with words. It was with a song. Out of nowhere, he dropped a snippet on Instagram rapping about fake stories, messy shorties, and queens who stay loyal. Subtle? Not at all. Fans immediately dissected every lyric, arguing about who he was defending and who he was dissing. Some swore he was siding with Cardi. Others said it was a sneak diss at Chrisean. But everyone agreed on one thing. Offset was in way too deep. The scandal had reached nuclear level. And if you thought it couldn't possibly get any messier, oh, just wait. Because the aftermath didn't just shake Cardi and Chrisean, it rewired the way fans looked at loyalty, revenge, and the circus we call celebrity relationships. By the time the dust started to settle, it wasn't really about a hookup anymore. It was about reputations, who came out on top, who crashed, and who was left crawling out of the wreckage. And let me tell you, this scandal left more broken images than a cracked iPhone screen. Let's start with Cardi B. For years, she's been untouchable. Grammy wins, Billboard hits, chart-topping features. But this drama put her in a position she hates. Vulnerable. For the first time, people weren't laughing with Cardi, they were laughing at her. The memes were brutal. Cardi at the Grammys while Offset is backstage with Chrisean, and Offset said Bodak yellow but meant Bodak messy. The internet can turn on you faster than a Kardashian marriage, and Cardi felt the sting. Still, she's Cardi. She fought back in the only way she knows how. Music. Rumor has it, she rushed back into the studio, ready to record her most savage diss track since She Bad. Fans were already salivating, waiting for bars that would leave Chrisean looking like roadkill. But here's the catch. If Cardi drops a song, she risks giving Chrisean exactly what she wants. Free promo. That's the danger of beefing with someone who lives off chaos. The more you respond, the stronger they get. Chrisean, on the other hand, was thriving. This was her element. Drama is her oxygen, and she inhaled every headline like it was a line of clout. Suddenly, she was everywhere. Podcasts, interviews, gossip blogs, trending hashtags. Brands that once wouldn't touch her were now DMing for deals, because whether you love or hate her, one fact was undeniable. Chrisean Rock was the moment. Her fan base grew overnight. People started calling her the new queen of mess, comparing her to legends of scandal like Jocelyn Hernandez, Wendy Williams, even early 2000s Britney meltdown energy. But unlike them, Chrisean wasn't spiraling, she was strategizing. She turned Offset's name into her personal PR machine. Every post, every live, every soundbite was another jab at Cardi, another reminder that she wasn't going anywhere. And then there's Offset. Poor, predictable Offset, his reputation was already hanging by a thread, and this scandal snapped it in half. He became the internet's punching bag, a walking meme of infidelity. Comments flooded his page. Can't spell Offset without off with his pants. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Please keep it in your jeans. And the most consistent man alive, consistently cheating. Brutal, yes. Deserved, probably. The real tragedy for Offset wasn't even the cheating allegations. It was irrelevance. He wasn't the headline. Cardi and Chrisean were. He was reduced to background noise in his own scandal, the sidekick in a story about two women battling for dominance. That's the ultimate celebrity humiliation. And when you're not even the star of your own mess, your career is on life support. But here's where things take a darker turn. The public wasn't just laughing anymore. They were questioning Cardi and Offset's entire relationship. People started asking, why does Cardi stay? Is it love or is it fear of losing the image? Every time Offset's name trended, it dragged Cardi down with him. And for a superstar who built her brand on being untouchable, that kind of vulnerability is poison. Meanwhile, Chrisean had positioned herself as the anti-Cardi, raw, unfiltered, unbothered. She didn't care about reputation. She cared about attention. And in today's cloud economy, attention is currency. By weaponizing her hookup confession as revenge, she shifted the narrative. Suddenly, she wasn't the side character. She was the villain fans secretly root for. The Joker of hip-hop scandals. The fallout spread far beyond the three of them. Other celebrities started picking sides, intentionally or not. Megan Thee Stallion liked a shady post about women fighting over trash men, which fans instantly tied to Offset. Doja Cat joked on TikTok, "At this point, just make a group chat and fight it out." Even Kanye West. Yes, Kanye chimed in with a random Instagram rant about the destruction of family values in hip-hop. Nobody asked him, but of course he showed up. And while the industry turned this into entertainment, the fans took it personally. Cardi's fans felt betrayed, Chrisean's fans felt empowered, and Offset. Well, Offset didn't really have fans left to feel anything. The scandal didn't just break the internet, it redefined the players. Cardi went from queen to questioned. Offset went from rapper to punchline. And Chrisean went from messy reality star to household name. But the most shocking part? This isn't over. Not by a long shot. Because scandals like this don't die, they evolve. Every time Cardi posts, every time Offset sneezes, every time Chrisean breathes too loud, people will connect it back to this mess. This is the kind of drama that lingers, festers, and keeps growing legs. And let's be real, if Chrisean truly did this for revenge, then mission accomplished. Cardi was rattled, Offset was clowned, and Chrisean's name was on every gossip blog in existence. That's not just petty, that's chess. And she played it like a grandmaster in a chaotic tracksuit. So what does the future look like? Cardi may clap back with music, but the risk is boosting Chrisean. Offset may try to win sympathy, but the internet already has him pegged as the villain. And Chrisean? She'll keep laughing all the way to the bank, reminding us that in today's world, scandal isn't a setback, it's a career path. Scandal isn't a setback, it's a career path. The aftermath of this saga is simple. Nobody comes out clean. But the messier it gets, the more we watch, and in the end, maybe that's the point. Maybe Chrisean knew all along that one confession could set the entire hip-hop world on fire. And judging by the ashes we're standing in right now, she was right. So buckle up. Because if you think this story is over, you're dead wrong. This is just the first chapter in what might be the messiest saga of the decade. Offset's credibility? Gone. Cardi's invincibility? Shaken. Chrisean's relevance? Cemented. And the rest of us? We're just popcorn-munching spectators in the greatest soap opera ever written. If you thought the Offset-Chrisean scandal was going to quietly fade into the background like yesterday's TikTok trend, oh honey, think again. This is the kind of chaos that refuses to die. Like a bad haircut that keeps showing up in old Facebook photos. The aftermath? It's messier than Blueface's career management and twice as confusing. First, let's talk Offset's reputation. My guy has been trying to crawl his way out of the serial cheater narrative since forever. Every apology tour, every Instagram post about family values, every diamond-studded gift to Cardi, it all just went down the drain faster than a bottle of Casamigos at a backstage party. The man barely survived the Jade and Batty fiasco, and now Chrisean just threw him back into the lion's den. Offset went from maybe reformed husband to walking scandal generator in under 24 hours. And the memes? Brutal. Social media clowns are dragging Offset like he's the main character in a sitcom nobody asked for. Twitter is calling him the community husband. Instagram's comment section has turned into a roast session hotter than Kevin Hart's stand-up. And TikTok has already created choreographed dances mocking his downfall. I saw one that had people acting like Offset sneaking out of Chrisean's house at 5 a.m. wearing her bonnet. Savage doesn't even begin to cover it. But here's where it gets even juicier. Cardi B's response. Now let me tell you, Cardi doesn't just clap back, she obliterates. This woman could win an Olympic gold medal in public dragging. So when whispers started swirling that her own husband had a revenge fling with Chrisean, you know she wasn't about to sip tea quietly. Sources close to Cardi are saying she's been livid, pacing around like she's about to drop a diss track that'll make Shether sound like a lullaby. Cardi knows her brand is built on being unapologetically real, and you better believe she's not letting this one slide. Her energy right now? Pure Bronx. Fans are betting she'll either torch Offset with another viral rant, or in true Cardi fashion, turn the whole thing into a chart-topping anthem. Imagine a hook that goes, "You had your lil fun, now I'm done, here's the gun, brap." Billboard Hot 100, guaranteed. Meanwhile, Chrisean's public image has gone through a complete metamorphosis. Before, she was the girl everyone loved to hate, the messy queen who turned every situation into a WWE cage match. But now, she's standing in the spotlight like some kind of chaotic anti-hero. Fans are split down the middle. Half of them are screaming, "Sis, why would you admit this? You could have kept it in the drafts." The other half are saluting her for allegedly outsmarting Cardi B and shaking up hip-hop's royal couple with one confession. It's giving villain era, and Chrisean is thriving in it. But the fallout isn't just personal, it's industry-wide. Every rapper, influencer, and reality star with a Wi-Fi connection has chimed in. Boozy posted some wild rant on Instagram Live about keeping your thoughts in check. Academics practically fainted on Twitch trying to process it all. Nicki Minaj fans are stirring the pot, acting like this whole scandal is divine karma for Cardi. Even SZA slipped in a cryptic tweet that fans are dissecting like it's the Zapruder film. And then there's the money. Oh yes, scandals aren't just about clout, they're about dollars. Promoters are already pulling Offset from certain events, whispering about brand integrity. Cardi's team is allegedly renegotiating endorsement contracts because brands are skittish about her being tied to a circus. Meanwhile, Chrisean is cashing out. Her streams jumped, her bookings skyrocketed, and suddenly everybody wants her on podcasts, reality shows, and late-night interviews. This woman turned a confession into a career move. Petty revenge meets genius marketing strategy. But let's get real. The consequences run deeper than clout. For Cardi, this isn't just a PR hiccup. It's personal. Offset's wandering ways have been the thorn in her side for years, and every time she forgave him, the public kept score. This time, though, it's different. This time, it's Chrisean Rock, the most unpredictable wildcard in hip-hop's deck of cards. If Offset cheated with some random Instagram model, people would have shrugged. But Chrisean? That's like losing a chess match to someone who keeps flipping the board mid-game. It's humiliating, and Cardi knows it. Offset, on the other hand, is spiraling. Behind the scenes, insiders say he's begging Cardi not to walk away, promising this didn't mean anything, while Chrisean is out here hinting it meant everything. The contrast is brutal. Offset looks like a man scrambling to keep his empire together, while Chrisean looks like a woman enjoying the chaos she created. And here's the plot twist nobody saw coming. Some fans don't even believe Chrisean. Yep. A growing theory online claims she made the whole thing up just to rattle Cardi's cage. They're calling it Operation Offset Hoax, arguing she has no receipts, no photos, no proof, just her word and her messy history. But here's the kicker. In scandals like this, proof doesn't even matter. The allegation alone is enough to wreak havoc, and Chrisean knows it. The suggestion, the hint, the implication, it's more destructive than the truth, so where does that leave us? Offset looks guilty even if he's innocent. Cardi looks betrayed even if she's not. And Chrisean looks victorious even if she lied. It's the perfect storm of perception versus reality, and the internet is eating it alive. The big consequence? Trust is dead. Cardi and Offset's marriage was already hanging by a thread, and now that thread is unraveling on a global stage. Fans are speculating about divorce papers, Offset's solo projects, and Cardi's next era being her angry Beyoncé lemonade moment. The stakes are higher than ever, and every day this drags on, the fallout grows bigger. But the most chilling part of this scandal isn't what's been said, it's what hasn't. Cardi has yet to fully unleash. And if history has taught us anything, it's that when Cardi finally speaks, she doesn't whisper. She detonates. The world is waiting, the memes are loaded, and the culture is bracing for impact. So whether Chrisean told the truth, lied through her teeth, or played the biggest mind game hip-hop has ever seen, one thing is undeniable. She's changed the game. This isn't just another cheating rumor. It's a cultural earthquake. And we're all standing on shaky ground waiting for the aftershocks. And there you have it, folks. The Chrisean Rock Offset Cardi B triangle that nobody asked for but everybody's secretly obsessed with. This saga has had more twists than a Shonda Rhimes finale, and if you made it this far, congrats! You're officially more dedicated than Offset's loyalty program. Now, let's be real. You can't just sit here sipping this tea and then ghost me like Offset allegedly ghosted his vows. Nah, that's not how we do it here. Smash that like button like it owes you money. Hit subscribe like you're Cardi signing divorce papers. And for the love of scandal, drop a comment. Whose side are you on? Team Cardi, Team Offset, Team Chrisean, or Team burn it all down and start over? Because let me tell you, the comments section is where the real reality show happens. Y'all go harder than the cast of Love and Hip Hop on reunion night, and I live for it. Don't hold back. Drag, defend, speculate, throw wild conspiracy theories. This channel was built for the messy, by the messy, and you're part of the family now. And remember, scandals don't sleep. The second this chaos cools down, another celebrity meltdown will drop. And you know, I'll be right here breaking it down with more sarcasm than Wendy Williams at a shade convention. So buckle up, fam, because this train never stops. New lies, new receipts, new betrayals. It all lands right here first. This isn't just commentary. This is a movement. This is a circus. This is your guilty pleasure on steroids. This is Scandal Spark.